All right, what's going on, guys? I'm gonna make this quick because the microphone keeps clicking, my headphones don't work, and I'm having a ton of issues with audio. But I'm gonna just I've done this trade recap a million times, so I'm gonna try to make this quick. Sorry if I'm bland, I'm just a little over it. Okay, so going into the day, I had a pretty simple bias. Pretty simple bias. I usually don't do a lot of daily bias. This is a pretty broad view. I usually don't go this deep into the 4 hour, but we did end up tapping into this nice 4 hour imbalance, and we got great volume out of it. So because of that, we saw a nice break of structure. We saw this really nice breakaway gap get filled, or not filled. This breakaway gap get put in, and so now going into the day, I obviously wanted to see us continue higher after we saw that really good volume and we had imbalances resting below to keep us moving higher. So these were my two main draws overall. And with that, turn on my. So here we can see Asia absolutely ripped. London was ripping. The volume was very bullish. And so I had two ideas. One, I take a nice short into the 4 hour gap if we open higher, or I end up taking a short, or I end up taking a long after we tap the 4 hour gap. So it was pretty simple. We want to see the 4 hour gap get filled. Pause. Pause. So yeah, that was basically the thesis for the day, and it was super simple. So at open, we end up tapping into this nice 15-minute gap that we saw. It's 15-minute right here, and I wanted to see us trade lower into the 4 hour. Pretty simple. And so we do end up giving inverse on the 1 minute. This was the highest time frame gap. We do end up giving inverse, but we had one main issue. We ended up taking this low. And this was my break even. And we very easily could have rotated higher after taking this low. So because of that, I decided to fade the setup. Very good decision. So the next trade we did end up taking, we ended up coming lower. After taking this low, ES ripped lower, took the London low and tapped it to the 4 hour gap. So we put in a really strong SMT on this 4 hour, and instantly I'm bullish now. So now I'm looking for buys. I'm looking for longs. We end up putting in a 1 minute inversion gap, not inversion gap. We end up putting in a 1 minute gap here, looking for an inversion. We end up tapping into it, but then we end up coming lower and taking this internal low. Now, what I was looking for after taking this internal low, I decided to go down to the 30-second and look for good internal price action. So generally what I like to do is I kind of have two setups. And my second setup is the same as the first. It's just more an internal model within the model. And so we end up taking this low. Here we take this low. And we give a nice 30-second inversion. It's a quick break even though, just because of the risk on it. So we would have gotten a great 3-hour trade here. I do end up taking this. This is going to be my break even. By the way, I ended up taking 2 trades today. Just that's all. So I ended up taking this. This looked great. Boom. We immediately end up taking the high. That looked awesome. But we do get rejection out of it, and we do get stopped for break even. All good. After getting stopped for break even, I was like, okay, we had 2 options here. Either we run this gap, and I hop in after running the 1 minute, or what ends up happening, we end up taking the internal low once more. We do end up maintaining the SMT in the process, meaning Nas never did come down and take the 4-hour gap. So we end up taking this low again. So we had a lot of internal lows get taken. But we end up taking this low, and we give, let's see. We give inversion on the 3rd candle here. We had a really clean entry, which was really great to see because the market was nice to us today. And by the way, this is a trade recap for on Friday, as you can clearly see right here. I did miss that. So my main targets, again, I had these targets resting above. I wanted to see us run through London, ideally. I wanted to see us, honestly, I want to see this high get taken. This would have been great. That's what I was looking for. So we ended up entering this. Oh, break even was at this little internal high right here, just because I did not want to see us end up souping this high and then moving lower. So here we are. That's our break even. Bam. So now we're break even and it's a risk-free trade. And okay, that's not gonna make it confusing. And we do end up ripping. So we end up giving this super high volume, and we keep coming, and we end pause. We take this high. After taking this high, I kind of got greedy, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna move my TP to the second high. And then I was like, yo, screw that, because it kind of tripped me out when I started seeing us reject the high, because I was like, why would I get greedy on a trade that's already like, what, 2R? 2R? It was, okay, I can't grab it, but it was like a 2R trade. Why would I get greedy? So I did end up closing for full take profit here, and that was a good decision. Don't get greedy, kids, because, you know, we do end up ripping lower. And so that would have been kind of tragic if I decided to hold for this high. Thankfully, I didn't. But yeah, that's basically it. That was the trade. So we had that one break even, and then we had the W on the day. This was my first ever trade recap, as I've said before. So sorry if it's a little chaotic. I'm not really sorry, but it'll get better. You know, this is just for me. I know no one's watching right now. And yeah, that was my trade recap for the day. So yeah, that's all. I'll be doing trade recaps every day now, every time I take a trade, and kind of just my own self accountability, and it's gonna be great. So yeah, Monday market opens tomorrow, so I'll let you guys know how it goes. Peace.